The very first thing we have to build into our thinking when constructing our presentation is the shrinking attention spans of audiences. Research has shown that over the past couple of decades, people's attention spans have shrunk in measurable ways. From 30 seconds of casual attention that you would give me in the year 2000 to 12 seconds in 2018 and 8 seconds in 2023, it's gone down to under 4 seconds today. And it's still possible that it may go down again. It is safe to say that the attention span of your audience is in decline. And that is going to be a bit of a challenge, not so much to get the attention in the first instance. It's going to be a challenge to keep it. If you don't engage from the off, it's going to be extremely difficult to keep them engaged after a few minutes. So strong messages and methods of engagement are going to be key in your presentation. And that has to be from the kickoff, from the start. Now, that short attention span of an audience might increase in a business environment where people may say, they have some skin in the game, so to speak. They're about to make an investment. They work for the same company as you do. They're in the same team, or they're in the same profession as the speaker might be. Now, in a business setting, the optimal attention span for an audience, that is the attention span that can be comfortably held by an interested human engaged in listening to a speaker, is not 5 to 10 minutes. Instead, it's approximately 20 minutes. That's roughly what you've got in a presentation. In fact, it could be slightly less, somewhere to the 18 to 20 minute span, but 20 minutes is a decent and practical rough idea. After 20 minutes, no matter how interested we are, our focus is naturally going to start depleting, as we can see in this graph. And unless we take corrective action, it's going to take a steady erosion path until we are literally in front of an audience that aren't listening any longer. Now, this does not mean that people will automatically focus for that a moment of time. On the contrary, unless they're carefully guided, people will lose focus, as we said just a moment ago, after just a few minutes. For instance, 3 to 5 minutes might be the maximum they'll give you. What separates a really strong presenter from the rest of those presenters is that the really strong presenter, they take the promise of the optimal attention span and they design their presentation around that. So rather than trying to force in more things, such as more points or more messages or more examples, they realize that their job is to utilize those 20-minute units, if you like, in as efficient a way as we possibly can. Now, a fairly normal speaking slot, say at a conference, is normally somewhere in the 30 to 45-minute span. Now, that is not by accident, as this is just about the right amount of time for a good speaker to get 2 strong points across. Any shorter than that, and you're going to have to do 1 strong point. And all this is definitely something for us to consider when we're constructing our presentation. So the first thing you think about is you've got this attention span in decline. You've got to grab them from the start. The second thing is that the attention span is in steady decline and it's in a sort of 20-minute block. If you're allocated 40 to 45 minutes for a presentation, say in a conference or a seminar, this means that you can start breaking down this into what we call attention units. 45 minutes in effect means 2 units of 20 minutes each, with 5 minutes to spare for a powerful introduction that grabs the attention and an outro that people will remember. That is perfect. You can then start to craft your keynote as not one talk really, but 2 connected ones, complete with maybe a powerful transition. And a transition, by the way, is a signal to the audience that you've moved from one part of your talk to another and needs to establish that the audience can take a breath, let go of their previous focus and establish a new one. Such transitions needn't be long, as they exist primarily as a kind of mental pause.